Welcome to FCC Supporter Square, the show for fans, by fans, and about fans. Here are your hosts, Mark Suppin and Matt Warman. Welcome, Orange and Blue Nation, Gary Nation. We are FCC Supporter Square. We are mostly happy to be here. I'm not happy about what I saw. But I saw a lot of stuff to be happy about. But it's stuff that we talked about all year long. We'll get into it. We're hoping that you're saving this for your drive Saturday to Nashville, which we will be talking a bit about as well. And hopefully you're there. And we have yet another party join us. It looks like we're going to be skating at full strength. And
Awesome.
there he is, snuck in under the wire. There you go. That's how this things work. So first off, how are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing just great. Good to see you guys. Certainly, it's been a interesting couple of matches since we last talked, and ready to get into that.
You look a little clean shaven. Or am I mistaken?
No, I'm fresh off my latest Cincinnati Wing Week dinner, so I probably had to wipe up with several wet naps to get prepared for this podcast.
I thought you shaved because you're going to save the flavor for later or something. I wasn't sure what was going on there. This tastes good. Oh, it's kind of hairy, but it's really good. Well, and also happy birthday.
Another trip around the sun. Thankful to everybody that reached out and wished me congrats. And oh man, it's another birthday. But yep, thank you everyone
It
for
wasn't a
those.
major one. It's still a minor one, right?
It's still under the 6-0 line, so I'm awfully happy about that. So
First of all, that's all I got to say about that.
yeah.
But we have a third person here who's getting ready for some big life events, but not a birthday, but even bigger than that. But we can talk about that later. How are we doing, Andrew?
Hey, I'm doing all right, just another day in the life, another day of wondering if Chris Albright forgot to set his alarm, but
Oh,
I'm here ready to go, so
I tell you what, I have this on like speed dial on my phone is FC Cincinnati rumors today. And it's like Groundhog Day. It's like Brenner might Brenner might show up, but Danke has really got to go, and other people are interested in Evander, and then nothing. Then that's it. It's like, okay, trading Danke for Brenner, that's an interesting conversation. We've had that a couple of times, but that doesn't fix the problems that we have with this team. As a matter of fact, it probably makes it worse if Brenner is out for a while. But we'll get into that aspect of what, if time permitting, because we really have to talk about this Seattle match. To me, it felt like a loss, given that that team was dreadful. We were talking about how that team was dreadful. And for a large portion of the game, we looked really good, just couldn't quite figure things out. And we'll get into the details, the nitty gritty details of some of the things that I saw and maybe some of the things you guys saw live or on replay. So, Mark, I'll go with you. What was your thoughts on watching or rewatching the Seattle match?
yeah. I think the biggest knock on this team is we always play to the other team's level, and it really reared its ugly head against Seattle, where and I'm not, believe me, I'm not discounting the fact that I saw lots of good play with the back, the back three and midfield, getting the ball up and plenty of chances up at the final third, but it just could not execute outside of the goal that we got in the first half, and it just turned into we tried and tried and tried, and that second goal never came, and as a result, it gave Seattle just that little bit of opportunity, and they took advantage of it. And needless to say a point, but it does feel like a loss.
I think it is definitely a loss in my book because given what we said early in the season, where we were getting ties and those were considered a win, but
Yeah,
this is a team that you should be really padding your stats on. Yeah,
yeah.
Mhm.
we actually sat a bunch of people because of the fixed congestion. There's a lot of tired legs out there. As you
Hmm.
said some time back, your 100% may not be 100%. You may
Yeah,
feel like you're 100%, but you're kind of been driven, worn down, and your 100% is really 70%, and that's why I
right.
think they did some rotations. So a, what did you see at the game, Andrew? Because I saw you on TV as I often do. Uh, it's so nice to an A-list star on this show.
Amen.
I'm
um,
still waiting for
so
my check to clear, by the way. That,
I hope so. You said Venmo, the king of the Bailey, is what you said. Is
that's
I'll give you a
that is
brigade
not true?
treasury update here right after this podcast.
There you go. We'll check your funds later. That's not true, by the way. But what did you see, and
yeah.
what did you think of the rotation that Noonan put out there?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Seattle match went, it was as you guys already said, it unfortunately felt like a loss. I mean, the timing of that equalizing goal for Seattle, that was brutal and just
Mhm.
it felt like FC Cincinnati's, tires were spinning, just stuck in the mud for, what I mean, I guess when did we score that first goal? Around 20 minutes in, so it just felt like for 60 minutes. I mean, they're spinning. It's I'm conflicted. I'm back and forth because there was heavy rotation. They were coming off a tough stretch of match congestion. Kevin Denke didn't start, obviously. Buka wasn't in the starting lineup. Obi came in late. We dominated on the stat sheet. I mean, 70% possession, significantly more touches in the box, but it felt like they couldn't capitalize, and it was something that you really wanted them to capitalize on. And
Yeah.
I mean, for now, I'm willing to write it off as you know, rotated squad. Seattle, they were playing for the draw the entire time, it felt like. I mean, just constantly putting men, behind the ball and not letting FC Cincinnati really create that many chances. I also hold them to a higher standard where I expect them
Mhm.
to be able to break that kind of thing down. I mean, FC Cincinnati runs into that all the time against the New York, flopping squad and their New Jersey brethren, just playing a brand of soccer that is designed to frustrate and antagonize us. And it really bums me out to see them fall for it every single time. But it is what it is. I like I said, I like what I saw on the stat sheet, and I'm willing to write off the rotation as just match congestion, and hopefully they can pick things back up as we get into a more normalized schedule here.
That is the one thing that I've noticed with this team. For as many goals as we're scoring, and everybody's super excited about it. They always talk about it on the broadcasts about how well we score and how many we score, and we're averaging 2 or 3 goals a game, which is what we've been wanting because we've had the defense. Um, I think what I was seeing is that whenever anybody parks the bus, we tend to just not do what we need to do. We pass the ball around the park. We'll try to go down one wing and then maybe do a cut back, and it doesn't work, and then we'll recycle it around to the other side. Um, Honestly, other than Evander, for those people that were in there, and Dado is not a replacement. He is a starter. I was not happy with Dado's offensive performance. He was in the game. He was trying to control it. He did some passes. I think it was Evander that gave him an awesome pass inside the box. He has a shot, and he tries to make a very complex, not a flashy pass, but he's trying to pass it back to Evander in traffic as opposed to take the shot. It was like everybody wanted to take the ball and walk it into the goal. You got to take some shots. They didn't test the keeper. They didn't uh, really put any pressure on this defense. They just rotated. I thought, as FC Cincinnati likes to do, and I think it's why they score so many late in the game, is they like to wear you down. Um, And I think that's what they were trying to do, but then they forgot that they actually have to do something besides passing it side to side to wear them down. You got to make them make decisions that they were easily doing because there wasn't that many decisions to be made. What did you think of the offensive performance, Mark?
Happy overall. I think plenty of chances were made, and I was happy with what transpired, and you just end up being frustrated because I thought more could be done. But yeah, um, I just think against Seattle it was just not our it was just not our night offensively, and that's what ultimately it just dragged on into the second half, and you just couldn't nothing you can really do about it, and said just okay, just take this point and just get going, and hopefully better better play and more execution in the final third in the next match, and we're going to need that plenty this Saturday.
Yeah.
That is very much true. I
Mm-mm.
thought that Barlow did not play his best game.
Yeah.
Barlow really showed that he's a backup, and it really is
Mm-hmm.
kind of concerning for me as a fan if we get rid of Danke. I mean, Danke, as we've talked about, he's human. He's dealing with contract negotiations and where he might be and where my next house might be, right? These are things that when you have to move just a couple of blocks or to another neighborhood in town is one thing, but now you got to move to another country and
Yeah.
all that fun stuff, right? So I understand that he hasn't been playing his best ball and he wasn't there. But if we trade Denke, like we were going to do, and get a DP slot, and Brenner is the likely choice to bring back, but he's not healthy. That means 2-3 matches without a top striker, and you could just see right there is that our offense really sputtered, really sputtered. Other than Evander, and they were just doubling him. Somebody was just shadowing him the whole time, so he didn't have a whole lot of opportunity. He did score a goal. That wasn't really. It was kind of a fire drill. It was a good shot, rebound, and bounced around. Defense blocked a couple of times, but and so Evander made the goal obviously after the third try. But
Yeah.
there wasn't a whole lot of there, and then the few chances that we had, I thought Barlow was late or
Yeah.
not available. Are you concerned if we trade Denke and try to go with an offense with just Evander, Andrew?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it would be extremely concerning. And it's hard to say what the exact plan was. I mean, if they were looking to bring Brenner in and then the injury happened, and I don't know what the latest timeline on that is, but I mean, getting rid of Denke right now, that feels like you're conceding the season, right? I
Mm,
mean,
yeah.
you would have to bring in a very, very interesting name, in the same breath as selling off Denke to, give me confidence that they were trying to win this year.
Yeah.
um, I don't think that that's a viable option at all, and I don't think that's the way they're going to go at this point. I mean, who knows? There's a week left. If somebody offers you, the 20 million up front for Denke, then I mean, yeah, he probably goes. But his only suitors have kind of seemed to bow out at this point. So, and I don't think that they are aggressively looking for a buyer. So I'm not
Mm,
terribly worried about that happening right now. But if it were to happen, then yeah, I need to see some proof of life from Mr. Albright's cell phone before I feel comfortable moving Danke off this team.
This entire season, and quite frankly, a little bit of even last season, we know that our problem was in the back line. Chirilli played in. I thought he played well. He's only 18.
yes.
He just turned 18. He is clearly going to be the future of this front line. We have Miazga and Hidebe. Their contracts are going to be falling off here soon at the end of the season. We know that those both need to be replaced. I think we rolled the dice with Miazga for one more ride. It's a year plus past his knee, but he still has flashes, but you could tell that his peak has passed him. So we
Yeah.
know what we need. and there's a whole wide world of stuff going on out there, and it doesn't really make me feel good when I hear Noonan go, "Well, we need the right guy." Well, you tried to do the right guy with Hadebe and Smith and others. We cannot have a bargain basement center back. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. We've been trying to just go cheap with the center backs because we had Robinson and Miazga, and Hagelin was filling in. I think Hagelin is obviously going to be off the team at the end of this season. He hasn't seen any action uh, in any meaningful game in a very, very long time, so he's obviously not an option. Uh, I think they're playing Hidebe to try to see if they can get a last minute deal to pass him off to Real Salt Lake or DC United, or some team that needs a center back that's not vying for a playoff spot. I think that's what they're trying to do to free up some space to do some things, but we need defense, and we need
Yeah.
we need a stud, and having Buka as a wingback is nice offensively, but it's killing us down the middle, and we need to put him back in his spot, or free up or change our formation where he's the second striker. I don't really care, but if he's not in the middle of the pitch, we don't have anybody really to fill his spot. If Vander goes down, we have Dado who could reasonably do it for a while. But if Buka goes down, we don't have anybody that fills that role. Not even close. Not even the academy. I don't think we have anything. So, what are your thoughts on the current makeup and the lack of transfers or in or out, Mark?
Well, obviously it's concern. Twitter's blowing up with concern, and I just feel the same way. I just see the lack of anything being done as quite concerning. Other teams are doing the job. You just saw former half year Kevin Kelsey got got a big paycheck, got a big paycheck where he's headed. So congrats to him. But yeah, we've given up uh, in the top 10. We have by far given up more goals against, and that has to be handled. And we just don't have anything showing that we're gonna shore this up anytime soon. It's Hadebe or Gidi's doing his best back there, but the Kyle Smith, he shows up sometime, but he got really abused at one match. It's concerning. So the fact that nothing's being done right now is quite interesting. I just hope something is done here in the final days and hours, basically, because it's needed. If we're going to make a push for this year, it has to start now. And I think we have the pieces in the midfield, pieces up front, that we can definitely make a push, but I just think our defenses certainly need. And don't get me wrong, the defense is really shored up. We're not giving up the goals we gave up early in the season. It's been quite lean in the goals against department. In the past 5 matches, I've been quite happy with that. But at this point, we have to finish strong, and the defense is where it has to be shored up. So I'm just hoping something is done.
Let me quickly answer that. I think the teams that we've been playing, we did play a couple of first place teams in the West,
Yeah.
but road teams makes it's a little bit difficult. And I think the matchups, their style of play matched up well with ours. But
Hmm. Yep.
Columbus isn't a high scoring team. Seattle is not a high scoring team.
Right.
So giving them even one goal seems like a loss.
Yeah.
And it was an opportunity. Our goal differential is 2 plus 2.
Yep.
When you're playing a team like Seattle, I've been saying this for some time. They don't have to play 90 minutes, but why don't we start with our starting 11 and then take them out at 45, instead of well, let's see how the game goes. It's right. Yeah, I know we need to rotate. Surely we do, but how about You score the 2 goals first, and then pass it on to the lesser team, so you have a more defensive stance. At least you know what you're doing, right? You're not having to chase the game.
Hmm.
We made a whole bunch of subs, and you could tell in the last 15 minutes that they were primed to score. They were primed to score because we were buckling.
Yep.
How about we put out our best 11, score 2 or 3, then put in our defensive specialists for Denke, maybe even take out Evander in the 60th minute because we don't need to push the game. Give him a few minutes off. It's a little frustrating, and I'm going to say this for you, Andrew. 2 years ago, we whiffed on our summer transfer window. We had 2 or 3 people, and after the transfer window, it was like, well, we were going to sign this guy, and he said yes. Then his wife said no, and then this guy didn't happen, and I don't know. He didn't like the day ending in Y. I don't know what just like there was 2 or 3 things that we needed, and it didn't get done, and we
Yep.
went, okay, well, it's Albright, maybe that is, but look, we Austin wanted Albright. Austin wanted Albright, and we said no. This fan base is going to lose their minds because this also goes out to you, Andrew. Is we are the only MLS team who has not made any moves this summer window. The only team. People are still signing things right now. Now we still have a week left. I know we play close to the vest and all that stuff, but we need I need some information to see that you're at least trying to do something, even if the rumor is false. I don't even hear false rumors. I don't even hear agents talking about moving their players to FC Cincinnati. So the lack of information, and if we have 0 moves by the end of this summer window, how excited or lack thereof are you about Albright, the front office, and the summer transfer window?
Yeah. So, I mean, state of the team, right? It obviously needs to be said, and Mark had touched on this. Since the World Cup break ended, the team has looks pretty good at times. So they have more wins than losses, and this is counting Leagues Cup. And even if you take Leagues Cup out of it, just in MLS play, the team, they do look like they found something. The question becomes: is it sustainable? Have the last 3 matches, 2 draws and a 2-1 win over New York City, where you really needed a last-second goal? Does that mean that we're regressing? Is it just match congestion? Whatever. I don't know, but it deserves to be said that the team has had good moments, has a good record recently. All that said, you look at the starting 11 right now. All right, whoever your starting 11 is that you want to pick, which I think there's a general consensus on what it would be, give or take where you play Buka. There are
Hmm.
players absolutely who can be improved upon, and some who need to be improved upon.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is what it is. And for there to be 0 rumors at this point, for there to be, 0, amount of smoke coming from FC Cincinnati, it's very frustrating as a fan, honestly, especially when I've said on the show before, there was a point where we were tied to Neymar. Are you
Yeah,
like, what do you do with that? I mean, what do you do with that this team was supposedly tied to Neymar? I mean, Birding and Linder, I believe, went down to meet Neymar's dad, who was, his agent or whatever. That was the thing. Whether you wanted him here or not, that was a thing. You're
Hmm.
telling me that beyond Neymar, you got nothing? I mean, I don't know what to do with that. I
Yeah.
don't know what to do with that if that's the case. You didn't have any reasonable backups to shift towards, nothing that helps your back line. There's a week left. Hopefully I eat my words this time a week from now. But I mean, you need something because we were told previously that the team had money to work with, had roster mechanisms that they could pull.
Hmm.
You know that you have guys like Teenage Hadebe who you can ship off, who they're not really a net positive for the team at this point. And for there to just be nothing being done is frustrating as a fan.
Yep.
It's I mean, and I truly believe that every year should be a year where you are competing for a trophy. do you feel like you're in a position where you can, pull off enough wins in a row to go through MLS Cup playoffs right now? It gets pretty iffy. I mean,
Mm.
someone's got to do it, but I mean, I wouldn't say that we're exactly well positioned to do it at this point. So to circle that all back around, I mean, answer your question, if no moves are made by the time this window closes, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be pretty frustrated. It's going to feel like we didn't really go all in on trying to win something this year. And it feels like you are sacrificing another year within this window where you have, Evander playing like an MVP. I mean, in a
Yep.
league that doesn't have Lionel Messi in it, Evander's the front runner for MVP.
Yep.
It's plain and simple. And you're wasting that,
I think he
frankly.
still is. I honestly, I think he still is.
I don't know if he's the front runner, but he's my front runner. but but you know what I mean. It's just
Hmm.
if nothing gets done in the next week, then obviously I'm still a fan, and I don't know that that makes me hashtag all bright out or anything, but it does make me start to question, like, okay, what are we doing here with the talent that we have, that we don't know how long we can keep it all together. I mean, Evander and Denke and Buka is playing his heart out, like he's gonna. You tell me Buka's not gonna get looks from someone over in Europe or whatever. I mean, that dude has played crazy this year, and so hopefully we make a move, and if not, hopefully I get proven dead wrong on my takes that a lot of these guys can be improved upon or need to be improved upon.
Honestly, we do. So let's level set where we are. We are sixth place, 1 point behind Charlotte. So those 2 points dropped, moved us from fifth to sixth.
Yep.
I think that's kind of important. There's a big bunch between really second and sixth.
Yep.
We're at 31. Inter Miami has hit a lull. They're at 39.
Yep.
It is Nashville's to run away with, and I think that's what they're going to do. Which the goal differential, if we had scored a couple of more goals, that we are very low on our goal differential. That means any tie, we're going to be on the bottom end of that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the difference between scoring a couple of goals is the difference between being fourth and fifth place. That means
Yep.
2 home games or 2 away games. And this year's edition of this team is not the Road Warriors that we are used to the last couple of
Yeah.
years. And
Yeah.
speaking of road matches, all right, so Nashville's at first with 49 points. They have 43 goals for,
Yep.
17 against. The
Yep.
knock on Nashville for years is that they had the stoutest defense, and even when they had Hani Mukhtar, they could not score a goal to save their butts. And the last couple of years, they were kind of going like Cincinnati. They were scoring more goals, but they gave up a lot more
Yep.
defense, and they kind of had a little flux in their back line. And now it looks like they have it solved, and we're going there Saturday. This is a 6 point game of all 6 point games. This, to me, uh, coupled with the summer window, will tell you everything you need to know about this team the rest of the year, and that's it's quite scary as far as how important this game is. Because if we
Mm-hmm.
let's say we lose, and I think we will, that's going to be my opinion. I think that we're going to lose like 2-0 or 2-1. Uh, Spoiler alert. But uh, uh, if you lose that game, and then we don't have anybody, particularly on the defensive side, as a spark to show that we can shore things up, there's no way we're going to win this cup. There's just no way. If you can't beat Nashville or tie Nashville, right? We can't have an attaboy good showing where we looked really good, but they put the ball in the back of the net and we lose 1-0. The minimum we need is a draw on the road,
Mm-hmm.
and to show that we can go toe to toe, that our offense can outplay their defense, and our defense can stiffen its back enough to keep their best offense from scoring. Because as it stands right now, I'm not nearly as high on this defense as you guys are. Maybe I'm being a bit of a Debbie Downer, but I don't see a Smith or Hadebe doing anything. And if Miazga can find himself a few more games and see out the year, that would be great. Because then we have Robinson, Miazga, and somebody. I would say Trilla, but is Trilla ready? He's 18, and they're trying to save him for next year, I guess. I don't know, right? So that's where we're at. So let's get into the to the prediction market here. Mark, people who are going to bet their houses on your opinion, I guess. What do you see the match going this Saturday?
Uh, well, we only hope that we can match them toe to toe for 90 minutes plus, and it's just going to be a war. And I expect this team to step up. Honestly, Nashville has looked so good in MLS play. Uh, I'm not going to look at any of the Leagues Cup stuff. To me, I don't think they have their hearts in it. So I'm not worried about what that is, but who they are in MLS, they have looked very strong. Decimating Miami, and just taking. They're just playing, hitting on all cylinders, front and back. What I see down there is, I think we can step up and draw with them 2-2. It's going to take some work. It's going to take a lot of emergency, clearances and just fighting them at every point. But I think we can do it. I think we can bring home, take 1 point and go. Because I don't know if it's going to be a harder game this whole year than this. So this is the team. I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but this is going to tell us a lot about the kind of attitude we're going to bring to the rest of the season. So 2-2 down in Nashville.
Andrew, with all the things you've said and seen, what's your opinion for this Saturday's big matchup?
It is a tough one. It is, as Mark said, I mean, definitely probably about the toughest opponent. Certainly one of the top, two or three toughest opponents that FC Cincinnati will face all year. It's
Yeah.
going to be a difficult match on the road. I believe Nashville hasn't lost at home yet this year. They consider it a rivalry, so I don't, I don't feel that way, but apparently they're motivated, so whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I do feel like FC Cincinnati is capable of standing up to them. We've seen that so many times, and it is one of the biggest knocks on this team is that they consistently play to the level of who they are facing,
Hmm.
and so it is a serious bummer when they are drawing to Seattle at home on a 80th minute equalizer.
Yeah.
When you're playing Nashville, down at Geodis Park, it could be in their favor. You're talking about, Nashville and FC Cincinnati. Obviously, they have a significantly better goal differential than us, but goals for, we're two of the top teams, if not the two top teams, somewhere around there. Uh, so I think it's going to be a hard fought game. I think there needs to be and will be a lot of offense. We're going to have our full starting 11. They've got their week of rest that they, haven't been able to enjoy for the last month. I think FC Cincinnati goes down there, pulls out a, high stakes, gritty 4-3 victory.
Mm.
I certainly hope both of you guys are correct. Ordinarily, we match up pretty well with Nashville. I mean, you go back even to the USL days. Those were knockdown, drag out fights between us back then and now. And recently, we've had a lot of success in Nashville, even with their stalwart defense. But we are tied with Inter Miami, and Inter Miami went in there and got their butts handed to them 4-1. Um, this is a very strong team. I think we have a better offense construction. We can score quickly. Evander, if you give him any type of space, will score. Hopefully, Denke comes back out of the woodwork and scores. He hasn't scored in quite some time. He's been involved in freeing up Evander. That's true. but he hasn't been involved in any of the offense. Everything has been Evander, and if you shut Evander down, then you've shut our offense down. I haven't seen anything of our defense to say that we can keep them out of the net. Now, hopefully, I'm wrong. I remember a couple of years ago that they came to our place and we were on a 7 or 8 game winning streak, undefeated at home, and this was in May, and they were kind of at the bottom of the table, and they turned around and beat us 2-0.
Yep.
And we didn't look good at all, which was very shocking to us. So anything can happen in this game. So I'm not saying give up hope, but I'm going to try to be a realist here. I think Nashville scores twice and we score once to make it close. But I think we fall 2-1, and that's really going to put us into kind of a hole here. Just I hadn't looked at this before, but we're at 31 points. The ninth place team is Orlando, which we're done is at 24 points. So we are not free and clear of the playoff of making the playoff. We still have 13 games. We still have a lot of games in our favor. A lot of teams that we have to play, like Charlotte and Columbus, are here at home. So we have a chance. So there's always a chance. Whether we win or lose this game, it's not completely over, but we're playing the best team in the
Yep.
league at their place.
Right.
If we can pull a point out of that, I would be more than happy about that. Even if we score first and we give up a goal at the death, which would be as brutal as it gets, but at least we played them to as well a game as they've had all year, and that's what I'm hoping for. But I'm picking 2-1. Any final thoughts, Mark? Birthday, Mark?
Well, we can say birthday, but I am recalling 4 years ago today a 2-2 draw at TQL Stadium in that year's Hell is Real tilt, and it was just a sad 96-minute goal by that team up north to level it and share the points. But we were so close, and that was a team with Brenner, Acosta, and Vasquez and Moreno, and you had Miazga and Hagland and in the back, and there was just a lot of firepower. That was the year after Wooden Spoon, and we were on our way, and that was just a wonderful remembrance. Yeah, it was a draw, but believe me, we were on the way up, and we knew that year, and I think it just brought so many fans back to the team, to TQL, and after a rough first 3 years in MLS.
Oh, awesome memories. I think we scored in the first 30 seconds or something along those lines.
It was
Uh,
early. Yeah.
yeah. Andrew, any final thoughts?
Yeah. To Chris Albright, because I know you're listening. Please stop aiming for Mars. The moon will suffice.
Yep.
FC Cincinnati fans, stay the course. Love the team. You know what? I think they are still well positioned to make the playoffs, certainly. And they've got a week left to show me that they really want to go on a playoff run. And you know what? If we're sitting here in a week and they haven't made anything that inspires me, I will still be here saying all the reasons why it still is going to work out for them,
Yeah.
because that's what we do.
Yep.
It'll be a fun weekend. We're going to see exactly who they are. And if my prediction is correct, then we're going to be feeling a whole lot better on Saturday evening. So
For sure.
hopefully that is the case.
Uh, it is a road match. I'm not going down, but I am going to one of our fellow brigaders' place. I'm going to try to do some filming, so maybe it's like no an away match. So if you like what you see and you want to invite us to your next away match, we'll film it. We'll put it out on our
Yeah.
podcast, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Hmm.
But sadly, we've run out of time here. Hopefully, we have a new player by the next time we talk, and hopefully, there's 3 points in our pocket, and we run away from Nashville feeling really good about ourselves. Otherwise, well, we'll just talk about what happens next week, and we will see you here next time on FCC Supporter Square. Thank you for watching FCC Supporters Square. Please like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. The intro song was Disappointed by the Stone Bunnies. The outro song was Awesome Sauce, also by the Stone Bunnies. If you'd like to be on the show or contact us, it is at fcc.supp.square@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.